Let me ask you something. How often does someone else ruin your day? It starts with a look, a sarcastic comment, an insult, a betrayal. Someone cuts you off in traffic, someone lets you down again, and boom, just like that. You're triggered, you're boiling, you're replaying it in your head over and over like a broken record. Your chest is tight, your thoughts are racing, your peace is gone. Sound familiar? Now pause and imagine something else. Imagine a life where no one, and I mean no one, can pull you out of your peace. When words can't sting you, where betrayal doesn't break you, where rudeness rolls off you like rain on armor. Imagine waking up in complete control of your mind, your mood, your emotions, no matter what the world throws at you. This isn't a fantasy, because this speech isn't about coping with anger. It's not about managing stress. It's about becoming immune to it. It's about building such an unshakable mind that nothing and no one can disturb your calm. It's about stepping into the shoes of a Stoic warrior, someone who doesn't react like the rest of the world, but responds like a master of their fate. This is a roadmap, a mental transformation, a wake-up call. So if you're tired of letting people get to you, if you're tired of losing your peace over nonsense, if you're ready to rise above the noise and live on a higher plane, then lean in, because I'm about to share with you 5 Stoic principles that will show you exactly how to never get angry or bothered by anyone ever again. Let's begin. It's not them, it's you. The power of perception. The first and most liberating truth of Stoicism is this: no one can truly disturb you unless you give them permission. The philosopher Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them." Think deeply about this. Someone calls you a fool. What actually hurts you? The words, or your belief that what they said might be true, or that they shouldn't have said it? The Stoics taught that your mind is the filter through which all experience passes. If your filter is clear, based on reason, not emotion, insults pass through like smoke in the wind. But if your mind reacts impulsively, taking everything personally, then you've handed over your peace to others. You've allowed them to dictate your inner state. Imagine someone shouts at you in a language you don't understand. Would you be angry? Probably not, because you don't interpret it as an insult. This proves it's not the words themselves, but your interpretation of them that causes emotional pain. When you choose to pause, reflect, and ask yourself, is this really worth my peace? You begin to reclaim control. You start to see clearly. What others do is on them. How you interpret it is on you. This is what the Stoics call freedom. The ability to master your own mind, to be unshaken by external events. Train yourself to see that anger is a choice, not a reaction. It's not automatic. And once you recognize this, you unlock the ability to rise above it. You become unbothered not because others change, but because you've changed how you see. You've stopped being a slave to external noise and started becoming the master of your own inner peace. People do what they know. The logic of compassion, anger, is often rooted in the illusion that others should know better. We think, they shouldn't have said that. They shouldn't have betrayed me. They should treat me with respect. But according to Stoicism, this mindset is flawed because it expects people to act beyond their nature or understanding. Seneca wrote, "To understand all is to forgive all." This doesn't mean you excuse toxic behavior, but it means you stop being surprised by it. When someone lies to you, insults you, or acts selfishly, Stoics advise asking, what might be driving them? Perhaps ignorance, pain, insecurity, or fear. Maybe they've never been taught another way. Imagine walking into a room of toddlers and getting angry because they're not speaking in full sentences. Absurd, right? Why? because you don't expect children to act beyond their level of maturity. Apply the same lens to adults. Just because someone has an adult body doesn't mean they have wisdom, emotional intelligence, or self-control. If someone wrongs you, it's often not personal, it's habitual, even unconscious. This realization shifts your perspective. Instead of feeling offended, you start to feel compassion, not pity, but a calm understanding. You say to yourself, they are acting as they've been conditioned to act. That's on them, not me. By choosing understanding over reaction, you maintain your own dignity and protect your peace. You also become an example of patience, wisdom, and emotional maturity. Remember, you cannot control others, only how you choose to interpret them. When you accept this truth, anger becomes unnecessary. You see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. And this clarity is the beginning of inner strength. You were born free. Stay that way. Don't be a puppet. We live in a world where it's common to react. You insult me, I insult you. You cut me off in traffic, I yell. You ignore me, I feel offended. But the Stoics saw this as slavery, not of the body, but of the soul. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Why? Because when you mirror someone's anger, pettiness, or cruelty, you become their puppet. You give them control over your emotion. This isn't spiritual fluff. This is Stoicism, the ancient philosophy that forged emperors, warriors, and thinkers who mastered themselves in a chaotic world. The Stoics weren't soft. They weren't emotionless. They were sharp. They were grounded. They were unshakable. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while facing plague, war, and betrayal, and still wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Now let me be blunt. If you're getting angry easily, getting offended constantly, and letting people live rent-free in your head, it's not because the world is toxic. It's because you haven't mastered yourself yet. And that's exactly what we're about to do. And that, the Stoics believe, is the true loss of freedom. You were born with a free mind, the ability to reason, to choose, to pause before reacting. But society teaches you to hand over this power, to let every tweet, every word, every glance determine your state of mind. Stoicism demands the opposite. It calls you to become sovereign, a master of your emotions, not a slave to them. Ask yourself, why should I let someone else dictate my day, my mood, my decisions? If someone provokes you, don't respond with fire. That's what they expect. Instead, respond with silence, or, better yet, with calm. This isn't weakness, it's strength. It's easy to explode. It takes discipline not to. And discipline, self-control, is the mark of a truly free individual. The Stoic doesn't seek revenge, they seek virtue. They ask, what would a wise person do right now? And then they do that, not because of the other person, but because of who they choose to be. Never forget, you were born free. Don't give that away for a few seconds of emotional satisfaction. Don't let others pull your strings. Cut 'em. And walk like a Stoic, calm, strong, and unshaken. Train daily. Expect it. Mental rehearsal and preparedness. Imagine going to war without armor, or stepping into a storm without a coat. Sounds foolish, right? Yet, most people walk into life completely unprepared for what they'll face. Criticism, betrayal, traffic, insults, delays, and then they act surprised when life isn't easy. The Stoics were realists. Marcus Aurelius began his day with this powerful reflection. Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. He didn't say this to be negative. He said it to prepare his mind, to train it, like a soldier trains for battle. The Stoics believed that the key to never being disturbed was to expect disturbance and to strengthen your response through daily training. This is what we today call negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. Imagining what could go wrong and rehearsing how to respond wisely. Not emotionally, but rationally, calmly, virtuously. Each day, remind yourself, people may insult me, they may cut in line, they may act selfishly, but I control how I respond. And then practice. In small moments, traffic jams, rude comments, long lines, treat these like Stoic workouts. Opportunities to train patience, to flex inner strength. Don't wait for a crisis to learn composure. Train now. Every day. Repetition is the mother of mastery. The Stoics didn't hope for an easy life. They prepared for a hard one, and in doing so they became unbreakable. If you want to never be bothered again, don't wish for a quieter world. Build a quieter mind. Train it daily. Expect life to test you, and meet it with a calm, unshakable presence. You own the fortress within. Guard your peace like a king. Imagine your mind as a fortress, strong, well-defended, and sacred. Inside this fortress lives your peace, your clarity, your joy. But the gates are open, and every day people try to enter, with insults, with manipulation, with drama, and often, without thinking, you invite them in. The Stoics teach, close the gate, guard the fortress. Your peace is too valuable to give away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you let the world pour its negativity into your mind, you become If you let anger seep in, you become angry. But if you guard your inner world, you remain sovereign. You must realize, your peace is your responsibility. It's not your partner's job, not your boss's, not society's. The world will never be quiet, but your mind can be. Begin with awareness. When someone irritates you, pause. Ask, why am I letting this in? Is this person worth my energy? Does this situation deserve to disrupt my stillness? Usually the answer is no. Start treating your attention like currency, because it is. Would you hand $1,000, 0 cents, to a stranger who mocked you? Then why hand over your inner calm? Build boundaries. Not walls of arrogance, but walls of wisdom. Choose who and what enters your mental space. When you own your inner fortress, nothing from the outside can shake you. Not insults, not chaos, not betrayal. You become like a calm mountain, silent in storms, like a deep ocean, unbothered by surface ripples, like a true Stoic, rooted, still, and unshakable. So, protect your peace, guard your mind, and live from the inside out, never the other way around. So now you know the truth. You've heard the Stoic blueprint, not just ideas, a code to live by. You've learned that it's not the insult, it's your interpretation that gives it power. You've seen that people act from ignorance, pain, and fear, not because they're evil, but because they don't know better. You've understood that your emotional reactions are choices, not obligations. You've been reminded that your mind is a fortress and you are its gatekeeper. And most of all, that no one, and I mean no one, deserves the keys to your peace. Let's get real for a moment. Life won't stop being messy. People will still disappoint you. They'll still talk behind your back. They'll still betray, lie, insult, provoke. But now you have a choice. You can either keep reacting like everyone else, or you can rise like a Stoic. Because in a world full of noise, the calmest person wins. In a world full of weak reactions, the strongest response is no reaction at all. Not apathy, not ignorance, but power. Discipline. Inner mastery. You want real strength? It's not in your muscles. It's not in your bank account. It's not in your followers or your status. Real strength is emotional sovereignty, the ability to remain composed in chaos, to smile when provoked, to breathe when insulted, to say nothing when others expect you to lash out. That's rare, that's stoic, and that's the path you're on now. So the next time someone tries to pull you into their drama, the next time someone throws shade or mocks or gossips, just smile inwardly and remember, this doesn't touch me unless I let it. They don't have power unless you hand it to them. And from this moment on, you protect your energy, you protect your peace, you protect your mind like a sacred temple, and you walk through this world calm, steady, and because you are no longer a slave to your emotions, you are the master of them. And in mastering yourself, you've already won. Stay calm, stay grounded, stay unbothered. Be a Stoic. Thank you.